morning, candidates. This test consists of two parts, part 1 and part 2. Let us begin with part 1, which is a 2 minutes individual presentation. Candidates, you are given 2 minutes to prepare your notes. Candidates, your presentation is up. Before we begin part 1, I would like to remind you that candidates are not allowed to write during each individual presentation. Let us begin part 1 with candidate A. Please talk about why being a journalist is very challenging. You are given 2 minutes.
Okay. Good morning, examiner and hello friends. Today I'm going to talk about why being a journalist is a very difficult challenge. Firstly, journalists need to have good communication skills. This is because they will meet a lot of people from different places. Furthermore, they will have to conduct a lot of interviews. Thus, they need good communication skills to make the interview interesting. Secondly, a journalist will need to be aware of current issues. This is because during an interview, they will need to ask relative questions based on current climate of the world. Lastly, a journalist has to be good in time management. For example, a football journalist, Fabrizio Romano, is one of the best transfer journalists in the world. So, in an interview, he has said that he doesn't even have time to spend with his girlfriend or his family. This is because he is constantly traveling, looking for news. So, this is why time management is very important for journalists. And without proper time management, they can't gather enough news to give to the people. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, candidate A. Next, candidate B. You have 2 minutes to talk about why being a teacher is very challenging.
Good afternoon, the examiner and my fellow friends. I would like to talk about a teacher is a very challenging. My first point is lack of research. School funding impacts students learning several areas. Underfunded schools have overcrowded classrooms and outdated technology and textbooks. So they are understand with many administration and teachers taking on dual roles to save money. Programs that may benefit students but are not required are the first to be cut. Students lose out on opportunities when schools are underfunded. Teachers must become adept at doing more with less. Second point is time is limited. A teacher time is precious. As alluded to above, there is a difference between the time we spend preparing for our students, ruminate with them. So my next point is attitude student. Some students are rude to their teacher. They not respect to their teacher. They think teachers same with their friends, so they not respect. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, candidate B. Your time is up. Next, candidate C. Talk about why being a doctor is very challenging in 2 minutes.
Good morning, and my friends. Today I'm going to talk about why being a doctor is very challenging. First, we see in the aspect of education. In doctor, there are many courses in optic or in radio psychology or something. So these courses are not cheap. There are many, but they are not cheap. For example, like a degree, they need to spend more money, about 100,000. Second, doctors are usually fear and phobic about seeing blood and guts. And usually some male doctors are also not feeling uneasy when dealing with female patients who are in pregnancy, and unfortunately they need to withstand it because they are in doctor. Okay, and thirdly, doctors won't depend in their working hours. Their working hours are not organized, and they need to work 24 hours. For example, in this pandemic, doctors who are the frontliners are working 24 hours, helping the patients to curb out from COVID-19. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, candidate C. Candidate Z, now talk about why being an engineer is very challenging. You have 2 minutes.
Very good afternoon. I greet to the examiner and my fellow friends. So I'll be talking about on why being an engineer is very challenging. First and foremost, an engineer varies from different type of course, including electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, and some other engineering, I forgot. First and foremost, the cost of learning engineering is very costly. It is because engineering consists of having science subject and also electrical subjects. Secondly, the job opportunities in the world today for engineering are very slim due to the number of engineers in the country. Secondly, engineers are getting paid less these days because of the low job opportunities that are being held around the world. Fourthly, engineers should be well educated on geometrical maths and physics, as it consumes many aspects of engineering. Thank you.
Thank you, candidate Z. Now let us move on to part 2, which is a group discussion. In the discussion, you may agree or disagree with other candidates' opinion. You may use the idea in the mind map event or your own ideas. You have 3 minutes to prepare your notes.
I believe that the most important factor to consider when choosing a career is personal interest. This is because personal interest helps someone to achieve maximum success in the career they choose, simply because they want to do it. For example, if someone is interested in building stuff, so he wants to become an engineer, but due to some reasons, he became a doctor instead. Do you think he will be a good doctor? I don't think so. This is because he has no interest in it. He won't be kind. He doesn't have that heart to be a doctor. Yeah. So this means that without interest, you can't work wholeheartedly in a field. Thus, choosing a career that you don't like may also cause a lot of health issues such as stress and depression. So, I believe that personal interest is the most important factor to choosing a career.
I agree with Arvin's statement. And my point is, if we have a personal interest, which is the most important thing when choosing a career, we will be more focused to that one particular career. And our ambition will not be changed according to certain ages. And once we fix it, we will rely and put effort on that career which we desire. Secondly, our education will be organized earlier. We won't go to the different path, and our education is pre-planned. Studying courses on our desired career will help us to improve and more easy to understand and achieve our desired career. That's all for me.
I partially agree because the most important factor we need to think about work environment because from the career we can know a good friends or fake friends. So we need first of all we need to find a good friend for our work teamwork. So if we do some work we can do together, and if we not have a good friend, so we do not do work together, which is okay. If we not do work together, so the work can delay for 1 week or maybe more than 1 week. So that's all from me. Thank you.
I would like to include that the fact of personal growth is the most important factor to consider when choosing a career. This is because while exploring the career that suits one's interest, learning experience brings positively to one's mindset. Besides that, one could easily learn about their personality while growing in the career that they like. For example, Bill Gates was once a student of a computer school, but he decided to drop out from that college because he thought that he will succeed and become more achievable in his life if he were to pursue the career. So instead of that, he gained more knowledge on the course that he's studying, and he became the CEO of Microsoft today. So in conclusion, I would like to say that personal growth is one of the main factors that is considered for choosing a career. Thank you.
I will disagree with your opinion, Mira. This is because, as you said, Bill Gates dropped out from his college, but that's a 1 out of 1,000 example. Not everyone that drops out of college can be successful as Bill Gates. Because Bill Gates is a special guy. He had many other talents. He didn't need education, but so to use him as an example is a good thing. But you can't just be like, oh, Bill Gates dropped out, so I can also be successful. I don't think it will be a good option for everyone. Okay, that's all. Okay, so I would also like to add on that future prospect is also important in deciding a career. This is because we may not like understand this, but in the future there might be many jobs that are not in demand anymore. For example, engineers are getting more lesser and lesser in demand. This is due to the high rate of engineers produced. So if you are thinking about becoming an engineer, you must think twice because there's a lack of work recruitment for engineering. And thus, if you are graduate in a field that has no demand, then you will be unable to get employed. So it is just a waste of time that you studied so hard. So thank you.
Candidates, you have more time.
Okay, I'd like to disagree with the point that which Alice did, because she said that to choose a career you need friends, but actually J.K. Rowling, an author of the book Harry Potter, single-handedly create a book. She doesn't need friends, so she achieved a success in her career as an author without any friend. That's my point. Thank you.
You have more time, candidates.
Why are we talking about good salaries? Isn't that important to lead a happy life?
Yes, good salary is important because it reflects the person's status. A good salary. If an engineer having a salary about like 50,000, people will look up. If a driver having a salary of about 1,000, like 1,000, 2,000, they'll look down. So a good salary is also an important part in choosing a career.
I would like to disagree with Kishan, as I know that society today don't really look at the point of the income that we're getting in our daily life. People are striving for income as they need it for their daily uses in their daily life. As I know, the matter of fact, in this generation, the sources of salary is very less to millennials today due to elderly people who have higher ranking in the government due to take more income compared to millennials who are upcoming in the adulthood life. So in my point of view, that good salary is a way to on how one could bring up their life and also survive in the adulthood rather than being a status or form of look up to society who they think that, you know, if you have a lot of money, then you're a famous person and you're being respected. Thank you.
I agree with teacher because good salary because some people nowadays some people look up the more some people wants to buy for example they want to buy a car, but if we don't have money, so we don't buy a car. So that for now we need to think about the good salary, which is lecturer, because lecturer the salary for lecturer for 1 month maybe I think so 12,000 I think so that salary is good for career, because if we not good salary we can get a more salary, more career. So that's all for me. Thank you.
I agree with Mira. I think salary is a key factor in choosing a career, but it shouldn't be a main factor. This is because many careers don't really relate to the salary. For example, a footballer earns more than a surgeon. Does it mean a footballer is more skillful or talented than a surgeon? Thus, I think salary doesn't determine the status of a person. But it's an important thing. But yeah, at the end of the day, you need to be happy with what you do. So I'm still bringing back to my main point. Personal interest is the most important thing when choosing a career. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Avinesh. Even we being a doctor, but we don't have interest. I know doctor have a good salary, like we are earning millions or thousands. But if we don't have an interest about it, how we can focus into that career? So I taking back my point, which is personal interest is the most important factor when choosing a career.
Candidates, please conclude.
I would like to conclude that personal interest is one of the most important factors to consider choosing a career, because without having an interest, one could not really excel in the career that they are doing in their life. Thank you.
Thank you, candidates. Your test has ended.
Good evening, candidates. This test consists of two parts, part 1 and part 2. Let us begin with part 1, which is a 2-minute individual presentation. Candidates, you are given 2 minutes to prepare your notes. Okay, candidates, your preparation time is up. Before we begin part 1, I would like to remind you that candidates are not allowed to write during each individual presentations. Let's begin part 1 with candidate A. Please talk about foreign cultures. You are given 2 minutes.
Greetings to the examiners. Today I would like to talk about one of the factors that people choose to go abroad for holidays, which is foreign culture. As we all know, each society, each nation has their own people, and each people has their own culture. Foreign culture means that a culture that is different from us, that we never even know. So things that we don't know usually intrigue our mind, so we can learn many things. For example, in the Europe, there are many different types of culture. Like there are celebration like Christmas, which is rarely celebrated here, and etc. it will give us a lot more pleasant things to remember and things to learn, which they can implement in their lives. To sum up, foreign culture is one of the factors that makes people to choose to go on a holiday abroad instead of domestically. Thank you.
Okay, candidate, your time is up. Thank you. Next, candidate B, you have 2 minutes to talk about the weather abroad. Begin.
Good afternoon to my examiners and my fellow candidates. The factors that their choice of the destination is the weather abroad. They tend to places that have a season, which is that we cannot found in Malaysia, such as Japan and China. They have 4 seasons, so they can experience new sceneries and new experiences there. Such as like Japan and China, they have 4 seasons, which is summer, winter, autumn, and spring. So they can enter the different scenery of each season, and other than that, each season they have a different type of food. They can understand the weather, between the weather and the way people live. So people adjust their life according to the weather, such as like when the winter they are wearing a coat. Summer they are wearing just t-shirt.
Okay, thank you, candidate B. Your time is up. Next, candidate C, please talk about shopping abroad in 2 minutes.
A very good afternoon to examiners and my fellow friends. Today I would like to talk about the topic why person like to travel abroad rather than domestic places. Okay, in terms of shopping abroad, the first thing is, okay, I will take USA as a sample for this presentation. Okay, most of us or any other person like to go there because there are so many products that we can buy there without buying that particular product in their own country, because some of the US products take times to to be imported to their own foreign countries. For example, Malaysia. Okay, for example, the Apple iPhone. If we go there, we can buy with a cheaper price rather than we buy in Malaysia. The price is, I can say, double. Yeah. And then the second factor is during we shopping abroad, we can find various of quality items such as clothing, perfumes, and we also can get with an affordable price without buying in our own country, since the price is more higher than there. And then thirdly, why person like shopping abroad, because rather than shopping in their own country, if they go there, they can find while they buy anything, they can explore or can ask any explanation.
Your time is up. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Candidate D, talk about foreign cuisines. You have 2 minutes.
Good morning to examiner and hello candidates. Today I will talk about foreign cuisine is one of the factors that influence their choice of domestic for holiday. First of all is to get to eat something different, which is not commonly found in Malaysia, such as in Indonesia, people can eat the meat with bone. Means the bone also can be eat. Then we also can get to know the local culture through people eating habit. That we can see that how the local meal are prepared. They also have the traveler also have the opportunity to attend working classes for tourists. For example, like how their meal prepared is, they will serve the customer with drink first. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, candidates. Your test has ended. Now, let us move on to part 2, which is a group discussion. In the discussion, you may agree or disagree with other candidates' opinions. You may use the ideas in the mind map, even, or your own ideas. You have 3 minutes to prepare your notes. You are given between 8 to 12 minutes for your discussion. At the end of the discussion, try to come to a group conclusion. Please begin.
Greetings to my fellow candidates. Today I would like to talk about the best way to promote domestic tourism, which is through school holiday promotion. This is because we Malaysians like to spend time with our family, and the most frequent time we have time with our family is during school holidays. So when there are more domestic holiday promotions, people would be more interested to go on a domestic tourism because of the many varieties instead of overseas.
I agree with that because when the school holidays, parents and their child are always on vacation. Just not only abroad, but just in our country. So there's a discount. They can go such as promotion. They can get a discount for flight or accommodation like a hotel. So they can go just in the country.
I agree with candidate A. Okay, as what you said, school holiday is packed with person who want to go on a vacation or any holiday. So by doing school holiday packages, promos, family and also their children can choose the right package for their own vacation anywhere in Malaysia. So by doing that, we can promote domestic travels. Plus, in addition, we also can see all kind of interesting places, learn new things, and also discover many new things also. Then, rather than traveling to overseas, by doing these promos, all type of person, whether you are wealthy or not, also can afford to have this package to go on a lifetime trip in any place, for example. So yeah, I agree with that opinion. Thank you.
Okay, I disagree with candidate's A statement because in my opinion, how can domestic tourism best be promoted among Malaysian through festival, because we can get to participate in various festivals that tourism can Malaysian can celebrate local event or special occasion together and can get to see traditional practice. Means that tourism can come to Malaysia to show the different culture. They also can enjoy the traditional food such as nasi lemak, roti canai and char kway teow. Other than that, they also can learn about various. They also can showcase. We also can showcase our country unique cultures, like can get to experience and see the different of culture, ethnic group, for example, Iban, Daya, and Kadazan. Can stay with the local, for example, at Longhouse in the Iban community. That's all.
I disagree with candidate D because festival is not a strong way to promote domestic travels because not all people interested in festival. Yeah, I can say maybe half of them. So I still recommend school holiday packages, and because okay, if festival, not all person can go to any festival that they want. Maybe who knows, they were working or have any other duties to do. For holiday packages, it is open for general, and like what you said, to learn the culture or any traditional food. Yeah, even included in the holiday packages, school holiday. So, in addition, they also can learn related to the festival. That's not necessary to join the festival. So that's my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, candidate C. May I add on? As I said before, my opinion, the best way to promote domestic tourism is through school holiday promotion. However, I also believe that cheap travel packages will go hand to hand with the holiday promotion, with the school holiday promotion. This is because during the school holiday, there are multiple schools, not multiple, nearly all the schools close, which means that for a whole family to go on a trip, it will be like a lot because they want to take all of the children, right? So the cheaper travel package means they can go to many more destinations, see more sites, and stay a bit longer, and enjoy the tourism. Enjoy the tourism to the fullest. So the travel packages really really supports the holidays, the school holiday promotion.
I agree with candidate A because and also want to add on. Not only we can only promote for locals, but since it's a cheap holiday package, we can also promote to the overseas, to other countries. So maybe in terms of any tour agency can give any cheap prices. As for school holiday, not all country have the same holiday like us. So by doing these cheap packages, people from other countries also can experience our travel. They can see the interesting places, learn new stuff, and so on. So yeah, that's also one of the main factor for promoting domestic travels. Thank you.
I also agree with candidates A and C because with the cheapest package, not just only privilege of the rich people can go traveling, but for the lower income also can go travel. So even student and senior citizen with their family can go travel around the country, and it can be benefit to more people with the cheapest packages.
Candidates, please conclude.
To sum up, we can all agree, the majority of us can agree that school holiday is the best way to promote domestic tourism, followed by a cheaper travel package, and lastly, having a festival. Thank you.
Thank you, candidates. The test has ended.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, fellow candidates. Today we will do the speaking test, which consists of two parts, part 1 and part 2. Candidates, you are given 2 minutes to prepare. Candidates, your preparation time is up. Before we begin part 1, let me remind you that candidates are not allowed to write during other candidates' speech. Candidate A, please talk about most frequent and severe weather.
Good afternoon to the examiners and fellow friends. Today I want to talk about some ways to avoid overspending. So I'm going to talk about drawing up a shopping list. When we drawing up a shopping list, we can save our money. So with grocery list, it can save you lots of money. So we won't buy food items that are not necessary. Besides that, we also can save our time. It is because when you go to shop with a grocery list, you will know exactly what you want. You can just pick up the groceries you have list, and it will save so much more effort. You also can be less stressful with drawing up a shopping list, because having a list and something to follow is incredibly useful. So if you're someone that gets anxious or stressed going to the shop, so this is a big help for you. It also can help our plan meals. By using a grocery list, it can also help you to plan your meal out for the week. We also are able to make smarter decisions and properly evaluate the types of food that you and your family are consuming. So instead of making less minimum unhealthy decisions on your shop, you can stick to a healthier tips with drawing up a shopping list. So they will make shopping easier,
so they also can help us focus better.
Candidate, you still have time. Okay, thank you, candidate A. Your time is up. Next, candidate B. Please talk about exercising self-control.
Good morning to the examiners and my famous friend. Today I want to talk about the ways to avoid overspending by exercising self-control. So when we have a self-control, we can set our mind to set our mind that we only have to buy something that we need. So we will not spend a lot of money to buy something that we want instead of what we need. So when we have a self-control, we can prevent ourselves from being influenced by sales or promotions that we held on a certain shop. So when we have a self-control, we can control ourselves in whatever situations and everywhere we were going, so that we will not spend our money to some things that we didn't need. So when we exercising self-control, so that it's easier for us to save our money, and we can control ourselves, so that when we control ourselves, we will not overspending. And when we exercising self-control, we can obviously treat ourselves that we didn't have to do something else, like doing shopping list or else, because we know our mind know, and we obviously we already treat ourselves that we only will take something we need when we shopping. So it's good
Thank you,
for us.
candidate B. Your time is up. Now, candidate C. Please talk about reducing the frequency of shopping.
Good morning to the examiners and to my fellow friends. Today, I want to talk about ways to avoid overspending by reducing the frequency of shopping. In my opinion, reducing the frequency of shopping is the best way to avoid overspending. Because if we usually spending our money to shop, then we cannot save our money and cannot avoid from overspending. So in my opinion, reducing the frequency of shopping can help us to identify the most important needs, us to buy. It can help someone who overspending manage to balance between what they need and what they want. By reducing the frequency of shopping, we can help. It can help us to buy more important things than the things that we actually need. For example, we can buy groceries based on a monthly meals plan. So we have to shop everything that include our monthly meals in just that shopping. And second, it can help us to be more disciplined. By reducing the frequency of shopping, we can be more disciplined and challenge ourselves to a new rules. Such as like if people always shopping without measuring their budget.
Candidate C, your time is up. Thank you. Now, candidate D, please talk about bringing only the amount of money you need.
Good morning, good afternoon to the examiner. Spending within one budget can be challenging for students. My suggestion is to bring only the amount of money you need. First, don't target a specific amount. This way, it will help It will help us to bring how much amount of our spending. If you have someone who love to spend their money, my suggestion is to avoid going out with them, so that you can keep the amount you want to spend. Second, avoid using credit card. By using credit card, you will keep spending your money, and it will be out of your budget if you using the credit card, and you will spend more than what you wanted to spend. So the best way is to bring cash, the amount of money. Just like I said, the main point is to bring the only the amount of money you need. Thirdly, buy what you want, not what you need, so that you can actually if you buy what you the only thing you want, you can actually like save your money, because as a student we need to save money to buy books or anything. So if you spending your money to unnecessary thing, you will spend a lot of money. Then you will spend a lot of money, and your plan will ruin, something like that. So that as student, you need to avoid using credit cards. You need to avoid going out with someone that really love to spend money on unnecessary things. Thank you.
Candidate D, your time is up. Thank you. Now, let us begin part 2 of our speaking test, which is group discussion. You may agree or disagree with other candidates, and you may use my method or your own idea. You are given 3 minutes to prepare. You are given between 8 to 12 minutes to discuss. At the end of the discussion, try to come up with a group decision. You may begin.
For me, the best way for youth to spend their money wisely is to buy during sales. I'm saying this because it can save our money, because everybody knows that many people don't realize what this actually means. So if you think of the amount of money you would be spending on clothes in year, and imagine that everything came at least 10% off. So if the shopping mall do the sales, so it is a great time for gift shopping for your friends. So if you're planning on buying gifts for your friends, so these sales are a great time to purchase things for your friend. For example, you can buy one and get one free, so it can get you a lot more gifts, and it covered in a shorter time frame. So you can buy enough for next season to get designer clothes at affordable prices. So I think buy during sales is the best way for youth to spend their money wisely. What about you?
I agree with candidate A, because youth need to really manage their money so that they can spend their money really wisely. So I believe that women or men cannot hear about sales, so it's a good thing for youth to spend their money when it's on sale. The sales always up to 50% or 80% off when it's a clearance sales or year-end sales. So for youth that need to save their money and not to overspending, they need to actually buy something that they want when during the sales.
I personally agree that youth can spend the best ways to use to spend their money is by during sales, because for me, sale is not the shops is not always having a sales. So how about that when the youth want to buy some things that they really need, and the emergency things or the things that they frequently need to buy. So when they only buy things when there's sales. So as we know, sale is not will be going every time. It's only in a certain time. So it's quite hard for youth to buy only things when it was a sale for saving the money. And how can you make sure that buying things when it sales can save the money, can save youth money? Because we can't make sure that youth will buy a sales only in something that they need. Sometimes they buying some things that they the unnecessary things when it sells. So it seems that youth can also can overspending when when it's come to sales, because they obviously will buy something that necessary. So for me, the best things for you to save their money is by devise a budget. So when they have a budget, they know what they need to do, and they can devise what the unnecessary thing and the important thing that they really need to buy. So in this case, they can save their money more practically and more efficient. That's for me.
In my opinion, I partially agree with candidates B, because devise a budget while we are shopping, it can make us to make a limit of what we want to spend on certain things.
But I also agree with candidate C and candidate D and candidate A by the best way for youths to spend their money wisely is buying during sales, because when we buy things during sales, we can compare price from the other shops and the shops that have sales. Then we can search certain shops at the internet on the shop that we want to go before we just straight go to the shops that we want to buy something. So that we can get things more cheaper and affordable than the shops that have sells things with ordinary price. Actually, it depends on ourselves whether we want to spend more on during sales, or we want to spend more during sales, or we just have to buy on the sales because the price during sales is more cheaper and affordable.
In my opinion, we need to avoid impulse buying, because we need, as a youth, we need to control our desire, because we can buy things like something like you don't need, but we will buy that. So we need to avoid impulse buying. So be sure that you buy a useful and not wasted stuff, so that when you buy something you wanted, so you need to make sure that you will use that thing until it's broke or whatever. If you want to buy a grocery, you need to make sure you make a list and stick to the list, so that you are not overspending. That is my opinion.
Other than that, I suggest that we have to avoid credit cards, because when we use credit cards, we can overspending the money that have in it. So we have to consider our current balance rather than your credit limit. So if you manage your credit well, so you don't have to use all your available credit just by is there. So use your credit card only for things that you will have purchased anyway. So you can leave your cards at home, but no credit card, no spending. So I don't recommend this, because if everything happen, we don't have enough cash, so we can use credit cards.
I agree. As a youth, we need to really avoid the credit card, because as a youth, I think credit card is very dangerous, because I can spend more money on that. So I will buy unuseful stuff, and that will waste my money because I need to pay the credit card back. So I think the best way to for youth to spend their money wisely is to avoid using credit card.
I also agree that by avoiding credit card, youth can spend their money wisely, because youth is too young and not matured yet to use a credit card. They will feel heaven when they use the credit card, as they will feel like they can buy anything they want and they just can swipe, and it's easier to them to spend their money. So sometimes when they using a credit card, they didn't realize the amount of money that they have spent. That this is so scary, and this is bad behavior that youth will obviously do when they have a credit card. So that was a reason why I agree that avoid credit card is the best ways to use to spend your money wisely.
In my opinion, avoid credit cards also is the best way for youth, because in normal
nowadays in modern globalization, usually youth is using credit cards because it's more efficient and it's more easy to use. So it will make us careless and spend more than what we need, and it will cause us to overspending. So I think the best way for youth to spend their money wisely is to avoiding credit cards.
So we agree that the conclusion is we agree that youth can, the best way the youth can spend their money wisely is by avoiding credit cards because it has a lot of negative effect, and we agree that it was a last decision. Thank you.
Thank you, candidates. Your test has ended.